Oh boy, back at the workstation again. Clearly I messed up somewhere in life. Now, this video is just going to be a quick, hopefully, guide on what VR headsets are available, the most popular ones, and why you would choose each individual system over the others depending on things like your preferences and your budget. The really inspiration for this video came from a friend of mine who decided to go out and buy herself a VR headset, and she asked me, well, what would you recommend? And I wrote her a novel giving my recommendations on each individual system and thought this would probably make a pretty decent video. And so here we are recording this pretty decent video. So before we get into the topic at hand, let's go ahead and roll the intro, shall we? Alright, welcome back everybody to Gadget Conquest. I am your conquistador, and I am really just gonna be having a little chat with you guys, so feel free to put the video on a different screen or minimize it because there's not really a lot going on here today. But I really wanted to talk about the different VR headsets, not just headsets, I guess ecosystems at this point, the different VR ecosystems, how they exist, and sort of give you a guide on why you would buy each individual one. Say you're someone new who's coming into buying a VR headset, or maybe you have a VR headset and you're looking to upgrade. This is sort of just some quick information on each individual one and why you would buy them. I'm really only going to stick to 3 big names in VR right now, while there are your smaller names in VR. Odd that I would call Samsung a smaller name, but Samsung is a name in VR, just a smaller one. While there are smaller names in VR, I'm really not going to delve into those. I'm going to really just come into the 3 big ones, which would be HTC with their Vive, Steam or Valve with their Index, and Oculus or Facebook with the Quest 2 or the Rift S, although if you watched my last video, you know that I definitely do not recommend buying the Rift S. I absolutely recommend buying the Quest 2 in its place. And if you want to know why, you can go ahead and watch that video instead of this one, and then come back to this video with that information, and then you will know, and then we can move on from this point. I will not wait for you this time at all. Anyway, so let's get into the mindset of a buyer, right? So you are a buyer and you're coming into the VR market. You really want to get into VR and you don't know where to start. Well, there's really 3 sort of things that are in mind that I think you should keep in mind when buying a VR solution. And that would be, obviously your budget is the beginning one. So if you're budget constrained, then I mean, it depends on the size of your budget, but if your budget is very minimal, then you're probably just going to get a Quest 2, if we're being honest. It starts at $299. It's, I think, the cheapest solution, unless you go in, of the 3. Well, it is definitely the cheapest solution of the 3 that I've mentioned, and it's definitely the most high-quality solution of all of the ones in its price range. If you mix together all of the mixed reality headsets, none of them are really going to even come close to the Quest 2, and then when you step up to other headsets that are similar type, sort of inside-out tracking, that are more maybe bigger names in the environment, like the HTC Vive Cosmos, the original Cosmos, and the HP Reverb, the G1, not the G2. The G2 is coming out, but it's not out yet. Those 2 are significantly more expensive. One I believe is $649 and the other one is $549, both of them being more expensive and outside of the budget range of what I would consider to be the lowest possible budget with the Quest 2. So if you're budget constrained, then at that point, then really the Quest 2 is the only option that you have, unless you want to go into maybe getting something used, or maybe getting something outside of the 3 that I am recommending to you, although I personally do not really recommend them. I recommend these 3 because of the fact that they are going to have the best support and they are the most established in the business. So that's really the first thing that a buyer would have in mind is their budget. The next thing a buyer should have in mind when buying into the VR ecosystem would be their play space. And the reason that I say this is because if your play space is very small, if you're the kind of person that you can really only play in a very, very small location, maybe just standing or sitting at your desk, then your options become limited as well. If you have a limited play space, odds are you don't really have the space to be placing lighthouses everywhere. And that would obviously cause issues. So you would actually be better off doing something that has inside-out tracking versus outside-in tracking. So once again, the Quest 2 sort of wins there. But that's only for people with a limited play space. Now, if you have a larger play space, you know, anywhere up to, I believe, the, what is it, like 10 meters by 10 meters that the new lighthouses for the Valve Index can use, that's a pretty big play space. Of course, the Quest 2 could, in theory, do an infinitely sized play space, but we're not going to get into that. If you have a larger play space and budget isn't budget really isn't, you know, in your mind, then honestly, I don't really recommend going for the Quest 2, simply because when you have the play space, the tracking quality of the outside-in trackers, so the Cosmos Elite, and the HTC Vive Cosmos Elite, and the Valve Index, the tracking quality of those is much greater because of the fact that it is an outside-in tracking. Now, the reason I say this is I have the Quest 2. You can see it right over here. What the Quest 2 does really well, the Quest 2 tracks really well. It does a good job, but it's much better for like if you're standing still or if your movements involve having your hands in front of you. Now, if you have to move your hands behind you or anywhere where the cameras that are mounted to your head cannot see them, then you instantly lose tracking, which is not an issue that you would have with an outside-in system. However, outside-in systems do have their own fallbacks, like I think you're supposed to stay away from really reflective objects and also glass, but that's not super hard to do. But they're going to be much more accurate than the outside or inside-out systems are. The other thing that outside-in systems can really do for you is, and this is something that you would think about in the future maybe, is full body tracking. Now, you can do full body tracking in VR with an inside-out system like the Oculus. There are mods that use a Microsoft Kinect. You remember that, the weird camera array thing that came with the Xbox? That one? Yeah. One of those. You can actually get one of those that connects to a standard USB port and connects it to the computer, and you can actually get a form of full body tracking using the Kinect. It's pretty cool, but it's actually more of a hack than anything else, and it's not as good as the full body tracking that you can get from the outside-in systems that use Steam VR. So the HTC Vive Cosmos Elite, which this is the replacement of the Vive and the Vive Pro, which are no longer, I believe, no longer sold by HP. Now it's just the Cosmos ecosystem, so it'd be the Cosmos and the Cosmos Elite. The Cosmos Elite also uses Steam VR, so it does use the Lighthouse system, and it uses those pucks, and you can just get more pucks. You can just put them on your body and have full body tracking using your existing lighthouses. That's pretty cool. The Valve Index also allows you to do full body tracking in this way, and it is much more accurate. Now, it is more expensive because you have to get every individual puck. And I believe you can get packs that are more, but they are more expensive. It is a more expensive solution, but it is a much more accurate solution. So if accuracy of tracking is something that really matters to you, then you would really want to look for an outside-in system over an inside-out system. Now, the last thing, so these are all considerations. The last thing that I would say that you would really look into, and as I say these, there is one more, and it would be the reason. So I've basically given you reasons to buy the Quest 2 at this point, and I've given you a reason to buy the Cosmos Elite or the Valve Index. Now, I'll just go ahead and give you 2 more reasons then. How about instead of 3, we'll do 4, right? So I'll give you a reason to buy the Cosmos Elite, and I'll give you a reason to buy the Valve Index, okay? So, wireless. If you want to, excuse me for my phone. Normally, I put it on Do Not Disturb, and I did not do that. I apologize. Normally, with the, normally with VR, you can't go wireless. HTC did this thing with Intel ages ago with the original Vive, I believe, to use, I believe, like a 60 gigahertz Wi-Fi signal in order to get Wi-Fi. And so they have like a Wi-Fi dongle, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, you can actually do a wireless connection to your computer from your headset and play completely free of wires. You don't need a stupid backpack with a computer in it. You just need a battery to power the headset, which you can easily get. Actually, I would even get a really large battery, just put it in my pocket or something like that. And the wireless card, it is kind of an expensive edition. I believe it's like $160 or something like that. But it is an option that you have if you go with HTC's system. The Vive Elite, and the Cosmos Elite, or the Vive Pro and the Cosmos Elite, all support this wireless headset. Now, the Vive or the Vive Pro, one of them do need adapters. Like, there are some adapters involved, but they're designed specifically for these systems, and it is something that the Index cannot do. Now, the Quest 2 also can't do it, but the Quest 2 is a standalone system on its own anyway when you're not using Oculus Link, so it's sort of a moot point. But anyway, the wireless functionality, I'm getting so sidetracked. The wireless functionality is something that you can only get from HTC's ecosystem, which I don't know about you guys, but I don't play a lot of super demanding games that would require incredibly low latencies or super high frame rates or anything like that. I mostly just play Beat Saber and Arizona Sunshine, and that's about it. So for me, there is value in the wireless, and I have friends who play VR who also see value in the wireless functionality. But there is another thing, which is the reason that you would buy the Index, that maybe other people would care about more, and that is the super smooth 120 hertz refresh rate. I believe it's 120 hertz and 144 hertz is like a beta mode or whatever, but it is capable of doing 144 hertz. It's a very high refresh rate. I believe the Cosmos Elite is only capable of like 90 hertz. So if you want a super smooth refresh rate, then by all means, the Valve Index is your only option. None of the other ones even come close to the refresh rate that the Valve Index the Valve Index can actually give you. So if that's something that you care about, then I definitely recommend going with the Valve Index. I personally haven't met a lot of people that have cared a great deal about that, but I have found that people who get motion sickness really easily do feel better using the Valve Index with its higher refresh rate than the other headsets with their lower refresh rate. Something about the smoothness of it, making it feel less jittery and making you less prone to motion sickness. I don't get motion sickness unless I'm playing like a game where I'm riding a roller coaster or something like that, so I don't really care that much about it. Now, the Valve Index also comes with, when you pay, the $1,000 it costs for the entire setup, it does come with the base station 2.0s, which have a wider range and are slightly more accurate, and it does come with the Index controllers. However, the reason that I don't include those as sort of selling points for the Index is the fact that the Cosmos Elite is also completely compatible with those controllers and base stations as well. And you can actually buy the Cosmos Elite by itself without its base station and controllers for, I believe, $549, so $550. And then you can actually just go to Steam and get their Index controllers and Index base station 2.0s. You don't have to, you can mix and match all you want, and then that way you get the superior controllers and you get wireless, which is pretty cool. And I actually have a friend who has that exact setup, although she's using a Vive Pro and not the Cosmos Elite, but it's sort of same difference. And that's really what it comes down to, is those few things. Now, there is one more consideration to take place, and this is sort of outside of the scope of all of it, and that is your own patience. If you are not a patient person, if you have money blowing a hole in your pocket and you want something right now, and you do not give a rat's butt about what it's going to cost you or how amazing it's going to be or anything like that, you just want VR right now, then I would say the Oculus Quest 2 is going to be your best bet, because you can just pick it up at a Best Buy if you live in the United States where there are Best Buys. So you can just go to an electronics store, and odds are they will carry a Quest 2. That is perfectly reasonable. You could also, if you have, say, Amazon Prime and you want to do next day shipping, the Cosmos Elite is available on Amazon Prime in a lot of areas with next day shipping, unless you live somewhere in the Midwest, in which case it'll be longer, but it is available for purchase most of the time, and it doesn't seem like the stock is going down too quickly. The Valve Index, on the other hand, actually, you know what, let's check Valve Index. Let's see if it's in stock right now. Let's see. Oh, crap. All right. Steam, why you do this to me, Steam? Why? Valve Index. Let's see if it's in stock right now. And order. Due to high demand, your current estimated ship date is more than 8 weeks. So there is a 2-month wait list on getting the Index. I didn't even ask for the entire thing. I just wanted the headset only, and there's a 2-month wait list on it. So if you can wait a week, if you can wait 2 weeks, and you have a crap ton of money, personally, and you want it just for desktop usage. If you want something portable, get the Quest 2. It's literally the only option. But if you want a desktop class experience with add-ons that you can get that'll make it even better, that'll make it cooler, and you can wait a week or two at most for shipping, the Cosmos Elite honestly is a pretty good choice. I wonder if at least the controllers are available. So if I just wanted the controllers, okay, so the controllers, the Valve Index controllers are currently in stock. They are currently in stock. It does say they ship within 2 weeks, which is quite a long time, but they are in stock. So if you wanted to, you could totally get the controllers as well if you wanted to. The Cosmos Elite with the Valve, with the, what is it? The Vive controllers, which honestly I hate. I would get these controllers instead. And the original base stations is $899, I believe. Personally, I would probably just buy the headset for $550, get the original base stations because the Index base stations are out of stock, and then get these Index controllers. That would probably be my dream setup so that I could do wireless and then also get the super cool controllers and get full body. Oh my God. All right, I digress. But the Index is perpetually out of stock. It is always out of stock. I have never once checked and had it be in stock. You have to be watching it like a freaking hawk to get it. And that's that's a selling point. If you can't get your thing in stock, don't expect to sell it. And if you, the buyer, are wanting something within 2 months, ships in 8 weeks or more. If you want something within 2 months, you're not getting the index. It's not happening. 8 weeks or more. 8 weeks or more. Do you have any idea how long that is? I'm so angry right now. Anyway, if you have money burning a hole in your pocket and you want something right now and you can't wait, you want to drive to a store, the Quest 2 is the way to go. If you have money burning a hole in your pocket and you can wait a week, 2 weeks at most, absolutely at most, then honestly the Cosmos Elite would be a better choice in my opinion because of the expandability of it, the ability to go wireless, and the ability to get full body tracking, and the accuracy of outside-in tracking. Of course, take into account your play space and all of these other things as well. But if you want something now, those are your two options, not the index. I have to close this. It's actually making me angry just looking over there. And that's really it. So that is everything that I wanted to get into for this video. This has been wow, 20 minutes. This has been a long discussion, but hopefully I covered all of the bases. What I'll do is in the description of this video, I will leave a sort of a bulleted list of everything that I mentioned. Actually, it'll be the message that I sent to my friend. I'll just copy and paste it into the description there. I'll leave a bulleted list of sort of the reasons why you would buy each individual one, and you know, it'll be up to you from there. I love seeing people playing VR. I love playing VR with people. I love going into multiplayer games and seeing a bunch of people there. And I would love for all of you guys to be VR players too, if you have the money. If you don't have the money, I don't know, rob a bank or something. You know? Easy, right? Anyway, this has been Gadget Conquest. I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.